Have you noticed that the harder you chase something, the further it seems to run? You sprint after success, relationships, or happiness, yet they remain just out of reach. This isn't a coincidence. It's a universal pattern. The truth is shocking. Your constant seeking is pushing away the very things you want. When you desperately hunt for solutions, you create a wall of anxiety that blocks what's already flowing toward you. Life works in strange ways. The things meant for you are already in motion. They're traveling to you right now through unseen channels, but your frantic searching disrupts their path. This video will reveal why seeking less actually brings more. You'll learn the hidden mechanism behind this paradox and how to flip the script in your favor. You'll discover the subtle shift that transforms struggle into effortless receiving. Most people spend their lives in endless pursuit, missing the gifts already on their doorstep. But you're about to learn a different approach, one where your desires find you instead of you chasing them. The secret isn't about giving up on what you want. It's about understanding a deeper truth. What's truly meant for you is already seeking you out. Your job isn't to hunt, it's to become receptive. Constant seeking puts us in a state of lack. This lack mindset tells our brain something is missing, triggering stress hormones that cloud judgment and drain energy. Every morning becomes another battle, frantically searching for what we don't have instead of appreciating what's already present. This endless chase creates a toxic cycle. We seek because we feel incomplete. Then that very seeking reinforces the feeling of incompleteness. It's like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in it. Pouring in more water only makes the leak worse. What we focus on expands. When we obsess over what's missing, our brain becomes programmed to spot even more absence and deficiency everywhere. It's biological. Our reticular activating system filters reality based on what we prime it to find. Prime it with lack, and lack becomes your reality. Desperate seeking carries a distinct energy that others can sense. Think about someone who desperately wants friends, yet drives people away with their neediness. Or someone so hungry for success, they make everyone uncomfortable with their forced networking. This desperate energy repels rather than attracts. Nature abhors imbalance. In physics, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Push too hard and the universe pushes back. This explains why frantically chasing dreams often leads to them slipping further away. It creates resistance in the very fabric of reality. Ancient wisdom understood this paradox. Chinese philosophers called it Wu Wei, effortless action. They observed that water never struggles to flow downstream, yet accomplishes mighty feats over time. The natural way isn't forcing, but flowing. Seeking itself implies something is missing. This creates a subconscious, self-fulfilling prophecy where we manifest more situations that confirm our lack. Whatever we believe becomes our experience. So believing in absence creates more absence. Anxiety and frustration aren't just unpleasant emotions. They're energetic signals broadcasting on frequencies that repel what we want. Like tuning a radio to static instead of clear music, our frantic search creates interference patterns that jam the signals of opportunity trying to reach us. Grasping too tightly suffocates potential. Notice how a flower won't bloom if you keep pulling at its petals. Similarly, Our desperate grip on outcomes strangles the natural unfolding of possibilities that would otherwise blossom in their own perfect timing. Life operates on an invisible schedule we can't control. Everything has its season. Fruits ripen when they're ready, not when we're hungry. This same principle applies to our goals, relationships, and opportunities. They arrive at their appointed time, following natural laws that exist beyond our limited perception. Divine timing isn't mystical nonsense, but a practical reality. Just as farmers can't rush their crops by screaming at the soil, we can't force certain developments in our lives. Each experience requires specific conditions to manifest properly. These conditions assemble in the background while we impatiently tap our feet, unaware of the intricate choreography unfolding. Premature manifestation often leads to disappointment. Getting what we want before we're prepared to receive it properly can be worse than not getting it at all. It's like giving a teenager a fortune before they understand financial management. What should be a blessing becomes a curse through poor timing. Alignment happens on multiple levels simultaneously. For something significant to enter our lives, various elements must synchronize: our personal readiness, external circumstances, and involvement of other people. This complex synchronization explains why forcing outcomes rarely works. We're attempting to manipulate just one piece of an intricate puzzle. Nature demonstrates this principle constantly. Caterpillars transform into butterflies through precise biological timing. Attempt to help by cutting open a cocoon prematurely, and you'll create a butterfly with underdeveloped wings, unable to fly. Some processes require specific incubation periods that cannot be accelerated. Emotional maturity means respecting these natural rhythms. When we learn patience, we stop wasting energy fighting against universal timing. Instead, we redirect that energy toward preparing ourselves to receive what's coming. This preparation often becomes the final component needed for manifestation. Forced experiences lack depth and authenticity. Contrast a relationship that develops organically versus one pushed into existence through manipulation or desperation. One has roots that weather storms. The other collapses at the first sign of trouble. What comes naturally sustains itself. What's forced requires constant effort to maintain. Seeds germinate underground before showing any visible growth. During this invisible phase, crucial development occurs. Similarly, our desires germinate in unseen realms before manifesting physically. This germination period isn't empty waiting, but essential preparation that we interrupt when we dig up seeds repeatedly to check their progress. Trying to fall asleep guarantees you'll stay awake. This strange phenomenon illustrates the law of reversed effort perfectly. When effort contradicts intention, we create internal conflict that prevents results. Insomniacs know this paradox intimately. Sleep comes only when they stop trying to force it. This principle extends far beyond bedtime struggles. Notice how forcing yourself to relax only makes you more tense, or how desperately trying to impress someone usually leads to awkward behavior that drives them away. Excessive effort creates resistance through mental interference. Psychological studies confirm this mechanism. Our minds operate on multiple levels, conscious and subconscious. When these levels work in harmony, we achieve flow states where things happen effortlessly. But when conscious striving contradicts subconscious processes, we experience internal sabotage. Water teaches this principle beautifully. Grasp it tightly, and it escapes through your fingers. Open your palm, and it rests there peacefully. This same dynamic applies to opportunities, relationships, and creative insights. They respond to receptivity, not force. Chinese philosophers named this concept Wu Wei, action through non-action. They observed that nature accomplishes everything without striving. Rivers cut through mountains, not through brute force, but through gentle persistence and following natural contours. Allowing operates from trust rather than control. It acknowledges that life possesses its own intelligence beyond our limited perspective. This doesn't mean becoming passive, but rather aligning our actions with natural momentum instead of struggling against it. Martial arts demonstrate this wisdom physically. Beginners use muscle and force, exhausting themselves while achieving poor results. Masters learn to redirect energy instead of opposing it directly. They accomplish more with less effort through strategic alignment. Brain scans reveal distinct patterns between forcing and allowing states. Forcing activates stress responses, flooding our system with cortisol and adrenaline that impair clear thinking. Allowing activates parasympathetic responses associated with creativity, insight, and intuitive problem solving. Forcing creates a narrowed perspective focused only on desired outcomes. This tunnel vision blocks peripheral awareness where solutions often hide. Allowing expands perception, opening us to unexpected possibilities and synchronicities that forcing would miss entirely. Children naturally understand allowing. Watch them at play, fully immersed without self-consciousness or forced effort. Their natural state demonstrates how learning, growth, and creativity flourish not through striving, but through curious engagement with what's already unfolding. Coincidences start multiplying when desires activate. Someone mentions a book related to your goal, then a podcast episode covers the same topic. Soon, a stranger at a coffee shop brings up something similar. These aren't random events, but breadcrumbs on a trail. Pay attention to these patterns. They signal momentum building in unseen dimensions before physical manifestation. Dreams become more vivid and specific. Our subconscious mind processes information beyond conscious awareness. When something is forming in our reality, dream symbols often appear first. Recurring symbols, settings, or themes related to desires indicate background processing happening while awake mind rests. Internal shifts precede external changes. Before desired circumstances materialize, subtle internal transformations occur. New ideas emerge spontaneously. Perspectives shift without effort. Solutions appear where once were only problems. These inner adjustments create necessary conditions for external manifestation. Obstacles suddenly dissolve on their own. Problems that seemed insurmountable disappear without direct intervention. People who blocked progress move away. Bureaucratic hurdles clear unexpectedly. When roadblocks vanish without explanation, it indicates forces beyond personal effort working in favor. Increased synchronicity appears in daily life. Right people arrive precisely when needed. Perfect opportunities emerge at ideal moments. Resources materialize from unexpected sources. These synchronized events indicate alignment with deeper currents carrying desires toward fulfillment. Emotional states shift noticeably. Anxiety about outcomes decreases naturally. Calm certainty replaces desperate wanting. Patience comes easily where once was only urgency. These emotional shifts aren't just psychological, they're energetic indicators of manifestation in progress. Physical sensations sometimes accompany pre-manifestation phases, tingling in hands or crown, sudden waves of energy or warmth, inexplicable excitement without obvious cause. Body awareness often detects incoming changes before conscious mind recognizes them. Time perception alters strangely. Days seem to compress or expand unusually. Long-standing situations resolve suddenly after months of stagnation. Progress happens in quantum leaps rather than gradual steps. This temporal distortion often precedes significant manifestations. Inspired action feels different from forced effort. Ideas come with unusual clarity and confidence. Taking steps toward goals feels natural rather than strained. Work becomes energizing instead of depleting. This shift in action quality indicates alignment with what's already forming. People react differently without explanation. Others suddenly support ideas they previously rejected. Resources come from unlikely allies. Strangers offer exactly what's needed without being asked. This changed social response signals shifted energetic broadcasts that others unconsciously detect. Attachment creates an energetic anchor that prevents forward movement. When we cling to specific outcomes, we unconsciously signal distrust in life's ability to deliver what we need. This distrust creates resistance, blocking natural flow. Detachment isn't about not caring, it's about releasing the stranglehold of need that suffocates possibilities. Desperation emits a frequency of lack. Others sense this invisible broadcast, creating discomfort and distance. Notice how people gravitate toward those who remain calm and centered regardless of circumstances. This magnetic quality comes from inner sufficiency rather than grasping need. Buddhist wisdom teaches that suffering stems from attachment to specific forms rather than essence. Wanting love is natural, but demanding it come through one specific person creates suffering. Desiring prosperity makes sense, but insisting it arrive through one particular channel limits infinite possibilities. Quantum physics demonstrates that observation affects outcomes. Particles behave differently when watched versus unobserved. Similarly, our constant checking, worrying, and monitoring actually alters potential results. Detachment creates space for quantum possibilities to collapse into optimal form. Children demonstrate healthy detachment naturally. They pursue what interests them with full passion, then release it completely when finished. No lingering, no overthinking, no attachment to yesterday's desires. This natural rhythm of engagement and release allows continuous renewal and fresh energy. Plants grow through alternating cycles of effort and surrender. They actively push towards sunlight, then passively receive nourishment. Growth happens during both phases. Similarly, manifestation requires both directed intention and complete surrender, working in rhythmic partnership. Caring without clinging means honoring emotions without being controlled by them. Feel desire fully, then release it completely. Experience disappointment thoroughly, then let it wash away. This emotional fluidity prevents stagnation that blocks incoming opportunities. Outcome fixation creates tunnel vision that misses better possibilities. History overflows with stories of failures that led to unexpected treasures. Penicillin post-it notes and countless innovations emerged when original plans collapsed. Detachment opens perception to see beyond initial limited vision. Releasing attachment paradoxically increases manifestation power. It's like loosening grip on sand. Clench tightly and it escapes through fingers. Hold gently and it stays in place. This delicate balance of caring deeply while holding lightly creates optimal conditions for receiving. Desire plants seeds while detachment creates fertile soil. Both elements remain essential. Care enough to clarify intentions precisely, then detach enough to allow infinite paths toward fulfillment. This dynamic partnership between focused desire and open surrender creates manifestation mastery. Fullness prevents new experiences from entering life. Ancient Zen masters taught this through a simple story. A scholar visited a master seeking wisdom, but continuously interrupted with his own knowledge. Finally, the master poured tea until it overflowed the cup. When the scholar protested, the master explained, "Like this cup, you are too full of your own opinions to receive anything new." This principle operates everywhere. Minds full of fixed ideas cannot absorb fresh insights. Physical clutter creates energetic stagnation. Objects carry energy beyond their material properties. Old possessions from past phases retain those frequencies, anchoring us to outdated patterns. Clearing physical space doesn't just create visual order, but energetic openness that signals readiness for fresh experiences. Mental clutter operates similarly, but with greater impact. Outdated beliefs, repetitive thought loops, and excessive information consumption fill internal space needed for inspiration. Mental hoarding blocks intuitive insights that arise only in spaciousness. Creating mental gaps through meditation, nature immersion, or digital detox clears reception channels. Nature abhors a vacuum, automatically filling empty spaces. This universal principle works in our favor when applied consciously. Creating deliberate emptiness triggers an automatic response where new experiences rush in to fill the void. This explains why major breakthroughs often follow periods of deliberate simplification. Scheduling unstructured time creates possibility zones where synchronicity thrives. Constantly packed calendars leave no room for unexpected opportunities. Building margin into days signals to the universe that space exists for new experiences. These intentional gaps become invitation points for manifestation. Emotional clearing creates perhaps the most powerful space. Unprocessed feelings from past disappointments occupy enormous energy. Grieving completed relationships, acknowledging unfulfilled dreams, and releasing resentments frees emotional bandwidth needed for receiving desired experiences fully. Attention represents our scarcest resource. Scattered focus on dozens of possibilities dilutes manifestation power. Ruthlessly eliminating distractions, secondary projects, and excessive commitments concentrates energy toward primary desires. This focused attention acts as a powerful attractor signal. Relationships sometimes require similar clearing. Connections that drain energy or reinforce limiting patterns create social clutter. Compassionately releasing these relationships or transforming their nature Create space for aligned connections that support desired growth directions. Simplifying daily routines eliminates decision fatigue that clouds intuition. Each decision depletes mental energy needed for receptivity. Streamlining recurring choices through conscious routines preserves cognitive space for recognizing subtle guidance and unexpected opportunities when they appear. Inspired action feels effortless. Despite requiring effort, this seeming contradiction reveals its nature. Energy flows through rather than from you. Time warps strangely, hours passing like minutes. Tasks that would normally exhaust instead energize. This state contrasts sharply with forced action, where each step feels like wading through mud, requiring willpower to continue. Body signals provide clear guidance between these states. Forced action creates tension in shoulders, jaw clenching, shallow breathing. Inspired action maintains physical relaxation even during intense focus. Paying attention to these physical cues helps distinguish which path to follow in any moment. Inspiration arrives with unusual clarity. Ideas appear fully formed, accompanied by certainty that bypasses logical questioning. Forcing feels fragmented, partial plans requiring constant revision, doubts arising continuously. This quality of clarity serves as reliable compass for distinguishing between these action types. Results differ dramatically between these approaches. Forced action creates expected outcomes through predictable means. Inspired action often delivers surprising results exceeding initial vision. One follows linear paths. The other accesses quantum leaps through synchronicity and unexpected connections. Motivation sources reveal which type drives current actions. External pressure, fear, comparison, or desperation fuel forced actions. Internal excitement, curiosity, genuine interest, or unexplainable certainty accompany inspired movement. Questioning motivation honestly helps differentiate between these states. Waiting requires equal discernment. Productive waiting feels active though externally still. Internal processing continues. Clarity grows, energy builds. Stagnant waiting feels dead, anxious, or resigned. Learning this distinction prevents both premature action and unnecessary delay. Flow states emerge naturally during inspired action. Psychologists describe flow as optimal experience where challenge perfectly matches capacity. Time perception alters, self-consciousness disappears, action and awareness merge. This state occurs spontaneously during aligned action, but remains inaccessible when forcing against natural currents. Intuitive timing develops through practice. Inner promptings whisper when conditions align for effective action. These subtle signals grow louder with consistent attention. Eventually, this internal guidance system becomes more reliable than external planning or conventional timing strategies. Desperate action repels results, while aligned action attracts assistance. When forcing outcomes, obstacles multiply mysteriously. When following inspired guidance, unexpected help appears precisely when needed. This phenomenon occurs so consistently, it suggests underlying laws beyond coincidence. Balance between action and receptivity creates optimal conditions for manifestation. Masculine energies of focus, direction, and decisiveness partner with feminine energies of openness, intuition, and surrender. Neither dominates. Both contribute essential qualities to effective creation. This dynamic partnership transforms manifestation from struggle to harmonious dance. Trust develops through evidence, yet faith requires stepping beyond visible proof. This paradox resolves through experience, noticing past instances when unseen currents carried life exactly where needed, often despite conscious resistance. Reflecting on these moments builds confidence in processes beyond conscious control. Each remembered synchronicity strengthens neural pathways that support future trust. Evidence of invisible support surrounds us constantly. Heartbeats continue without conscious command. Cells regenerate without instruction. Seasons change through forces no human controls. These natural processes demonstrate intricate intelligence operating behind visible reality, the same intelligence orchestrating desires into manifestation through perfect timing. Quantum physics confirms what mystics always knew. Solid matter consists mostly of empty space arranged by invisible forces. What appears solid merely represents energy vibrating at specific frequencies. This scientific understanding validates ancient wisdom that unseen energies create physical reality, giving rational foundation for trusting invisible processes. Children trust naturally before learning doubt. They fall asleep peacefully, assuming morning will come. They plant seeds, never questioning whether natural forces will transform them into plants. This innate trust in life processes remains our natural state before accumulated disappointments teach suspicion and control. Patience transcends passive waiting. Active patience engages fully with present reality while maintaining faith in unfolding futures. It recognizes that meaningful developments require appropriate gestation periods. Just as quality wines need proper aging and diamonds form under sustained pressure, valuable manifestations often require extended timelines. Microwave culture conditions minds for immediate results, weakening patience muscles essential for significant achievements. Instant gratification weakens trust in natural timing. Developing patience counteracts these cultural currents, becoming revolutionary act that enables access to deeper fulfillment unavailable through rushed channels. Impatience creates stress hormones that cloud perception and block intuitive guidance. Patient states activate parasympathetic nervous systems where creativity, connection, and clarity flourish. This physiological difference dramatically affects manifestation capacity beyond mere psychological comfort. Time perception determines experience quality. Anxious clock watching creates suffering regardless of actual duration. Absorbed engagement makes hours vanish instantly. Mastering internal time sense through mindfulness practices transforms waiting periods from torture into opportunities for deepening presence. Modern physics suggests past, present, and future exist simultaneously in quantum fields. Linear time perception represents limited consciousness rather than absolute reality. Perhaps patience simply means aligning personal awareness with already complete manifestations existing in quantum potential, allowing them to materialize at optimal moments through natural unfolding. Life operates through perfect timing, when we stop interfering. Our constant seeking often prevents what's already coming toward us. When we release the desperate chase and create receptive space, magic happens naturally. Desires manifest not through force, but through alignment with deeper currents already flowing in our favor. This shift from seeking to allowing changes everything. Notice how nature works. Flowers don't strain to bloom, rivers don't struggle to reach oceans. This same effortless power moves through human experience when we step out of our own way. What you seek is already seeking you through channels beyond logical understanding. Practice trusting more and controlling less. Pay attention to subtle signs showing your desires are in motion. Distinguish between inspired action and forced effort. Create empty space where new experiences can land. Release attachment to exact forms while maintaining clarity about what truly matters. This wisdom transforms not just results, but the journey itself. Life becomes less exhausting and more miraculous. The struggle ends not because desires disappear, but because they fulfill themselves through natural momentum, once resistance dissolves. If this perspective shifted something for you today, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Your journey matters, and we're here to support each step toward effortless manifestation.